welcome back to Citizen Extra right here live on Citizen Television. I'm Jeff Koinange. If you're just joining us right now, we have a great hour ahead. It's all about youth and politics. That's right, there's so many aspirants who are under the age of 30. I'm telling you, this is a game changer. Mark my words. In the studio today, we'll start with the man everybody knows who spent years in campus. Years! And is finally running in Embakasi East. Babu Owino, he's 29, so that means he must have spent half his life in campus as a student leader. Now he's serious about politics. Embakasi East is his constituency. Also joined by Isaiah Begi Gesicho. He's 30 years old. He's running as Engwen MP. 30 years old, look at that. And then right next to him, Susan Lengewa, only 23 years old, running for senator of county number 47, Nairobi County. Some of you are probably seeing her for the very first time. Susan, you have a lot of explaining to do.
Yes.
Of course, and then oh yeah, we're gonna have a good time, folks. But first, we want to go live. We're covering all the campaigns happening today, so we're going to go live first to Wundanyi. That's in Taita Taveta County, where we find our very own Sam Gitugu. Sam, if you could hear me, paint a picture. What's the mood like in Wundanyi?
Well, good morning, Jeff. You're going to have a powerful interview there with those leaders. But here at Wundanyi, we're expecting the arrival of the NASA principals, that is Moses Wetangula and Musalia Mudavadi, were supposed to be making their way into Wundanyi. We had been told that they were going to be here by 10 o'clock, but now it's already 11:15. They're not yet here, but the understanding is that they will be here shortly, and at the same time there will be a rally in Taveta, that is the other side of Taita Taveta County, which will be led by Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka. He's running it within NASA, and the expectation here is to convince the 155,000 voters, registered voters in this particular county, bearing in mind that in 2013, 81% of them voted for Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka. That time they were undercored, and of course 13% voted for Uhuru Kenyatta. So the understanding here is that they have decided to be splitting, to work in two different teams, so that they are in a position to cover as much as they can within each and every county that they visit. Of course, yesterday they were in Kilifi County in those two different teams, and so once they come here, once Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula get to Wundanyi, they'll spend some few minutes here. Of course, this is the bus park of this Wundanyi town, which is the headquarters of Taita Taveta County, and then after that they'll be moving to Mwatate, which is another area within this county, and later in the afternoon they'll be converging. They'll be meeting with the Raila Odinga Kalonzo Musyoka team at Voi, so that they can have a uniform, or rather a unity rally for the two of them, being the biggest town, as you may call it, here within Taita Taveta County. And the understanding, as I said, the message is just to convince the locals here, who basically they seem to lean towards the opposition side, but of course there has been an insurgence from other political parties, including the Jubilee Party, and so it is a sort of ring fence at this Taita Taveta County as a stronghold for the opposition. Jeff?
Good point there, Sam. I was going to ask you about voter apathy or voter turnout. What's the mood like over there? You say voters mostly lean towards Jubilee, if you will. What's the mood like right now with NASA coming into town?
Well, it's hard to assess the mood because we just got here at Wundanyi, but basically even as we walked around Taita Taveta yesterday, you could have a feel of the preference for the National Super Alliance. And just to correct you, in 2013 they basically voted for the opposition, that is the Code Alliance that time, and the understanding is that that is still the force. But what we have here is a different scenario, and much of it is influenced by the situation that they have with the county elections, because you remember that during the nominations, especially within the Orange Democratic Movement, the current governor John Murutu lost the seat to the member of parliament for Wundanyi, that is Mwadegu, who won that ticket. He'll be flying the flag for the ODM, but of course at this time as we speak, John Murutu already is vying as an independent, so sort of getting to change the arithmetic, the matrix that was here. And of course the other candidates also within Wiper, that is we have Granton Samboja vying on a Wiper ticket, and there's another one, Jacinta Motela, vying on an ANC ticket. So they are quite some 3 candidates within NASA, then 1 person who is an independent, and then there's also another candidate within Jubilee. But the mood is, as I said, we are not able to assess it, but from the reaction that we've had here at Wundanyi, the kind of reception, the kind of preparations for the arrival of the leaders, you can see it's positive, but that we will have to wait and see how the turnout will be for people who come to listen to their leaders, and also their reaction as they get to listen to what they have to say. Jeff?
Absolutely, Sam. I hear a very loud campaign vehicle behind you there. That means the mood is building up, no doubt. Thank you so much. Sam Gituku there, live in Wundanyi, Taita Taveta County. Good to talk to you. Good luck on your campaign. Let's go live now to the KDF Recruit Training School in Eldoret, where there's actually there's a KDF pass-out parade right there. That's right. You see live pictures of the pass-out parade. KDF Recruit Training School, Eldoret. We're going to get to Jackie Maribe very shortly. In the meantime, that's the parade there. They're actually expecting the Jubilee leaders there. President Uhuru Kenyatta and Deputy President, and his team are supposed to be arriving there in that pass-out parade. And then tomorrow, Uasin Gishu will be a very busy place for Jubilee. We'll get to Jackie in a little short while after this parade. We're going to listen into a little bit of this parade. Let's see what's going on.
Asante sana DSM. Basi gwaride ya kurutu ambao wanafuzu kuwa askari siku ya leo.
Looks like our picture froze there a bit, but pictures we could look at all day long. The pass-out parade of KDF in the KDF Recruit Training School in Eldoret, where the president, we understand, has already arrived and is overseeing that pass-out parade. Okay, on to our topic of this hour, youth and politics. Aspirants, quite a few of them, for the very first time, under 30 years old. They're changing the game, no doubt. This is what we call the future of Kenya. I have 3 of them in the studio right now. And by the way, I'm not the only one who's going to be asking questions. We have a team of young people who are going to be asking their fellow young people questions in a little short while. But first, let me introduce them again in case you're just joining us. Isaiah Begi Gasicho, 30 years old, running in Mgwen as an MP. Right next to him, Susan Lengewa, 23 years old, running Senate County number 47, Nairobi County. And of course, Babu Owino needs zero introduction. He's 29 years old. He's running as MP for Embakasi East, 10 years after being student leader continuously at UON. Babu, I'm going to start with you because, because I've been making the most fun of you. Babu, so you're running, what made you decide to run in Embakasi East, by the way?
I think, Jeff, first of all, I need to correct you a little bit for soiling my otherwise good name, saying that I've been a student leader for 10 years, but I've been there for 4 years. And
are you serious?
For 4 years, 3 consecutive years and 1 year. And you know, being a member of parliament, I'll be there for 5 years. As a term dictates that a member of parliament or an elected member in the national domain serves for a term of 5 years. And Babu Owino was in campus to acquire knowledge. So next time you do an introduction, you say he's stayed in campus, but you add the word acquisition. He went to acquire knowledge. Now, Jeff, what I would like to say about my interest in Embakasi East is very simple. First, I'm a member of Embakasi East. I have interest there. I'm a landlord in Embakasi East constituency. And like any other Kenyan citizen who can vie in any constituency in Kenya or any ward or any county in Kenya, being a Kenyan citizen, the problems and challenges facing Kenyan citizens are majorly the same. Problems facing members of Embakasi East residents and problems facing members of Mathare constituency are the same problems. So I think my vying in Embakasi East is just to serve the people of Embakasi East constituency.
Yeah. Do you actually live there, Babu?
I have a house in Green
Do
Park.
you visit Embakasi East?
Of course.
Have you been hitting the ground?
I'm there every day on a daily basis. And
What part, Babu?
Due to my hitting the ground on a daily basis is what made me win the nominations for the ODM. Yes.
What part of Embakasi East? Tell me some places.
We have 5 wards in Embakasi East. We have Mihango ward. In Mihango we have Choka, we have Buruburu, we have the upper part of Mihango. In Utawala we have the shopping center, we have Mradi, we have Benedicta area. In Soweto we have different zones. We have Nzeza, we have Shauri, we have Kibagare, among other centers. In Donom, which is Upper Savannah ward, we have different areas. We have Jacaranda, we have Phase 8 Donom, we have Vumilia, we have Kamola, and we have Kisumundogo. When we go to Embakasi ward, we also have Embakasi village, Embakasi Juakali, we have Tasia, and many more areas.
Babu,
so I'm well conversant with where I'm vying.
Babu, that was a test and you passed with flying colors.
Yes.
You didn't even look at any notes. Let me tell you, Susan Lengewa, 23 years old, my dear, 23, running for senator, Nairobi County. Why, first of all, why?
Why not? I think that's what I should ask you. Why not? Because as young people, we need to start getting into leadership positions to influence the course of our country for ourselves. And so we cannot sit back and wait for other people to decide for us the fate of our country. We need to get in there and take control of it.
Okay, so what made you decide, Susan?
I've always been in touch with what is happening in our political sphere of the country, and so I've always wanted to make a difference in a way that I feel like other people are not giving it to us. And so I sat down and I thought, you know what, I can't keep complaining about what I feel is going wrong or what is going right. I have to stand up and make it right for the people of this county. And so that is why I'm getting into politics at this age.
Okay, so since you threw your hat in the ring, Susan, what's it been like?
It's not been very easy. People will look at me and just feel, why you? And they doubt me so much to the extent that they can't even hear what I have to say. And so that has been the biggest challenge for me.
Is that discouraging, Susan?
It is to some extent, but you know what, there's nothing great that you will do that people will not fight you. And so because they're fighting me, it's kind of encouraging me that, you know what, I must be doing something right for them to be fighting against me. So yeah,
running against people like Johnston Sakaja, Edwin Sifuna, Susan, do you realistically stand any chance?
I do. I have supporters where I come from. I come from Nairobi. I've lived here all my life, and so it is not an impossible thing to do. It's very possible, and it's even more possible because I'm an independent candidate, and so I carry different views from what the party is carrying, and therefore I feel like I'm a better option in terms of fresh ideas, a new person to give the vote to, and also I feel like I embody who is the actual Nairobian, and so that is why it is not an impossible thing to do. It's actually very possible.
Yeah, brave words, Susan. You're in the deep end, but you know we'll get to you in a little while. Isaiah Begi Gasicho, Ngwen, Member of Parliament, and you're not even from there, Isaiah. What is this? What's that about?
First, I'm born and raised in Ngwen. I was born there. I'm the last born in a family of 4. My eldest brother is 40 years old. My parents have been there for over 45 years old. So how would you say I'm not from there? You know, I believe in a Kenya where one Kenya, one tribe, one nation, one tribe. Issues of tribalism is an old age thing. In Ngwen, it's very wrong to say that the Nandi community are tribal. In the previous by-election, the nominations, I was able to raise 5,108 votes. These votes came from the people in Ngwen. Where is tribalism? Where is the aspect of me not being from there coming from? Jeff, hiyo mambo, we don't have them here. Hakuna.
What's the reaction been like in Mgwen? Like you said, mostly Nandi community. What's it been like?
A third of the community. This is a figure that I'm so certain. A third of the community, mostly the elderly, had an issue. I'm using the word had an issue with the fact that I have a kifidem. Despite the fact that my umbilical cord was thrown. I was born in Mgwen and my umbilical cord was cut and it was buried in Mgwen. But right now they are seeing difference. They are seeing that it's not about the name, it's about the character of someone and the change this person want to bring to the community in Mgwen.
Susan?
Yes.
Let's face it. Nobody knows you.
I beg to differ. How can you say nobody knows
Nobody
me?
knows you, Susan.
How can you
have
say
you been
nobody
campaigning?
knows me? I have been campaigning through my networks of people, through people who support me and believe in my vision, and I've been campaigning right at the grassroots where people are.
So you've been on the ground?
Yes, I have.
What's the reaction like, Susan?
It's still disbelief, like, you're so young, why are you doing this? But I still believe that as young people, we can stand up and articulate our issues for ourselves, because let's face it, 60% of Nairobi is the youth, and therefore we can't keep having people who are not young trying to represent a majority of people who are young. And so I feel like I have a good chance, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Babu Owino.
Yes, yes.
What more can be said about this man that hasn't been said? Babu, have you always wanted to go into politics?
Of course, Jeff. I believe that I'm a God-chosen leader.
God-chosen.
These leaders are chosen by God, and that's evident when I was nominated to be the ODM flag bearer. And I believe, Jeff, I've always been a leader all my life. In primary school, I was a head student. In high school, head student. When I took my levels, head student. And you've seen in campus the way students refused to let me go. I had to decide by myself to jump to the national level.
Yeah.
But I believe still I will serve them in parliament, and I will serve the residents of Embakasi East constituency with zeal, zest, and vigor.
Babu, other than Tialala and that other thing that you always say,
yes,
tip him, yeah?
Yes, yes.
What else are you bringing to Embakasi East?
You know, Jeff, first of all, TBIM in itself is a revolutionary word. So when you say it, you must say it while...
Go on, say it from the say it.
You should say it from deep down your heart.
On.
You say it, TBIM and Tialala. It is a revolutionary word which is meant to bring out a government that is sleeping with the future of this nation, a government that is not delivering the services that it promised the people. As Babu, we know what I'm planning to do to the residents of Embakasi East is very simple. First of all, in Embakasi East there are special problems like water. When you look at areas like Mihango and Utawala, Embakasi Ward, there's a serious water crisis. There at this age and time, when in Mombasa is surrounded by Indian Ocean, which is salty water, we still get fresh water. But in Embakasi East, do you believe that we can't get fresh water? When a child smiles at you, you will see the tooth rotten, the teeth are rotten.
Yeah.
By the end of the day, you just know that this child has been consuming salty water. As a leader, I will bring fresh water in Embakasi East. As a leader, I will work on hospital, both in Lower Savannah and Upper Savannah Ward, because that's a main challenge. As a leader, I will work on accessibility. The roads there are pathetic in Embakasi Ward, in Upper Savannah Ward, in Utawala Ward, and even in Miango Ward. The only place which has a little of accessibility and proper roads are in Lower Savannah Ward only. I will also work on issues of youth empowerment. Youths who are educated, we will work and at least act as a bridge between their dirty past and their golden tomorrow in the foreseeable future, by joining them, by linking them with the employers. Youths who are not successful to get educated because of school fees issues and other reasons, we also have a program for them that we will deal with. We are going to open up vocational training institutions where people will mold their skills and learn more skills like basketry, carpentry, issues on welding and matters furniture. I'm planning also to open up a SACCO in Embakasi constituency. This circle, for women who will not be having money to start up their business opportunities, will be given loans, and then they will do their business, then given time to repay the loan.
Yeah.
For youths also will be put in different groups, we register companies. I will act as a person in parliament who will ensure that this youth fund is spent and goes to the youths. The women fund is spent and goes to the women. And security in Embakasi also will be worked on, among many more things that I will do.
You give Babu a mic, he'll be talking forever, I tell you, man. How do you say it again?
Him.
Thank you, Babu. Good campaign. Okay, before I go to some young people who will ask you questions for your generation, I guess. Isaiah, real quick, you lost in the Jubilee nomination, didn't you? Isaiah Begi Gasito, you lost in the Jubilee and you're running as an independent.
Yes, I'm running as an independent candidate simply because of the future, the dreams, and the changes I want to bring to my constituency called Mgwen.
And when I see you guys, you're 30, Babu's 29, Susan is 23. Do you think, Isaiah, do you think this is a game changer? Are we changing the way we do politics in Kenya?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, giving up is not a solution. You're supposed to push it until the end of the rope. And for the dreams that I have for my people, and for the vision, the changes that I need in Mgwen, being a resident of Mgwen, we need to be involved as the young people in making decisions and choices of this opportunity to lead our people the right way. That is what I believe in. And also, Jeff, I'd want to contradict Babu Owino Kidogo on the aspect he's saying that the government that is sitting and lying on issues. And to be very specific, the Jubilee government or the Huruto government is doing all it can to make Kenya best for the future. We don't look for today, we look after 10 years to come. This is the only government that has given the youth sincerely an opportunity to participate in high-level meetings. The AMCAD 14, TCAD, HML2, all these opportunities were being given by the Jubilee government. I do not think there's any other government that has done that for the youth, okay?
Okay.
And also, this is the only government that has given, Jubilee is the only government that has given 30% of opportunities in government procurement system to the youth and to the women and to the disabled.
Okay, Babu, I'll give you a chance to answer right now. Hold on a second. I've got two young men here who I'd like you to engage in. Chris Wekesa and Livingston Sunday. Who's up first, gentlemen? Which one of you? You ask a question if you don't mind, and tell us who you're directing your question to.
My question goes to Babu, my good friend. And Babu, I'm just wondering with you. And in 2013 elections, we saw you fighting very hard. You vied you vied in Westlands.
Yes.
And now we've seen you've migrated to Embakasi East. Do you really have the interests of the common people at heart? Because we are seeing you are migrating all over. And then number two, can we really, Babu, trust you with power? On most occasions I've seen you walk around with heavy men, and I've heard you carry some guns with you. So why should we trust you with power? Babu, tell us the truth.
That's a very good question. To answer you in simple words, first of all, Nairobi is not a home for anybody. Everybody came from their different villages to Nairobi. Today you can live in Westlands, tomorrow you are living in Madare, the day after that, next month you are living in Embakasi constituency. And a Kenyan citizen, any Kenyan citizen is allowed democratically to vie anywhere in the nation and also to vote anywhere in the nation, so long as that person is a registered voter in that constituency. So it's not a matter of migrating from one area to the other. The issue is about service delivery. And as Babu Owino, you've seen me swallowing tear gas on the streets. Even for your sisters and brothers in university, Mr. Chris, these people, were it not for Babu Owino swallowing the tear gas on the streets, you would have paid an extra school fees for these sisters and brothers of ours.
What about the guns, Babu? What about the guns?
Now, the issue of the guns, I think, is his own creation in his own mind. Working with people, the president works with people and he claims to be offering services. My president, Raila Amolo Odinga, works with people and he offers services to the people. MPs work with people. So you want me to be working alone to show that I can deliver. And the fact that I work with people means that there is enough trust in me and confidence. The people around me are believing in me. You must be believed on by the people around you before any other person, any other extra person believes in you. So I think your question is dead on arrival, Mr. Chris.
Livingston, go ahead.
swali yangu naipeleka kwa Susan. As umeona Senate ni nyumba ya wazee as venye tuna understand, na we bado we ni dem. So swali niko nayo, plan gani uko nayo kwa vijana? Because kwa manifesto yako sijasikia ukitolea manifesto, because as now unaona vijana tuko na problem ya Uwezo Fund, Youth Fund, wameka vitu mingi until maybe ndio upate either tender kwa government lazima uchukue mzee, because zile vitu wanahitaji ni mamilioni, yet kijana hana, wanahitaji experience. Yes, huwezi pata experience kama hujafanya kwa government. So plan gani uko nayo kwa vijana kwa hiyo nyumba ya wazee? As venye tunai understand and you are 23, why au kuenda MCA kwa nyumba ya vijana?
Okay. Sasa I just want to start with Senate. Feel like kwa nyumba ya wazee, kwa sababu kazi ya Senate ita oversee county na pia itasaidia kwa policies zenye zinaenda national government. So kama kuna policies na laws na bills zenye zinafaa kupasiwa za young people, hatuwezi achia wazee peke yake wafanye hiyo kazi. Kwa hivyo tunahitaji sauti sisi kama watu wa young, kwa sababu tunafaa kukua hapo wakiamua vitu zingine zenye zinatuhusu. Umeniuliza kuhusu manifesto. I actually have a manifesto and I have been sharing it around, and the main pillar that I want to deal with is actually the youth, because I'm a young person myself and I know what experiences that people go through as young people in terms of looking for jobs. So a majority of us are unemployed, and some of us have gone to school. Some people have gone to school, they've gone to tertiary education, meaning colleges, universities, they have degrees, they have diplomas, but they're not employed. Why is that? A lot of people think it's because they're unemployable. And if you ask the employers, why haven't I gotten this job, they tell you have no experience. So as a senator, my main, the first thing I would want to pass is that as young people, we are able to be given internship programs within the government, because the government has different ministries and different types of professions within the government, and therefore all of us who have gone to school to study for, it could be engineering, it could be in the education sector, the government would take us in as interns, and then we'll be able to get some experience, and then people can be able to employ us because we have some kind of experience.
Susan, in this digital age, where can people find your manifesto? Is it online?
Yes, it is online.
Go on.
I have a Facebook page as well where you can find some parts of my manifesto.
What is it?
Pardon?
Your Facebook.
It's Lengewa Silentoi Susan.
Lengewa Silentoi Susan. Okay, Chris, do you have a question for Isaiah?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
And I happen to come from a farming area. That is my rural home. And I'd like Isaiah, you have to tell us, especially the farmers in Mgwen. Do you have any plan for the farmers, or you are just running up and down saying you want to be a leader? And then also, Susan, I have a question for you. In the past 4 years, our girls and our sisters like you, those who have been nominated or elected in both National Parliament, National Assembly and the Senate, we've seen they have lived a kind of skewed life. How will you balance your social life vis-a-vis the politics? Why I'm asking you that way is because in the past we've seen our girls mess up in the sense that we've heard of scandals all along, and society and even we young people, we are doubting if our young girls go to power.
Okay.
Will they really have a social life?
Thank you, Chris. Okay, first, Isaiah, you go first. Are you just running around?
Yeah, fine. Now, Baba, the question is very good. I like the question, but I'd also want to go back to the other gentleman who was asking about the youth and the tenders and the opportunity given by the government. The government has a platform that you can access to get all the tenders that are available. You can go online, check on the government portfolio, look at the government tenders that are available. I'm a beneficiary of the 30% of the youth opportunities for the government. All you need to get is information. Take your time, get information so that you'll be able to know, because it's very easy. I don't think there's any place in the tendering process where they ask for experience. No, start small. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. Going to your question, agriculture. Vision 2030 Youth Entrepreneurship with Youth for Better Kenya, whereby I'm a chairman. We were able to negotiate with BIDCO, and we were able to come up with a concept called Vijana na Soya that is going to give the youth opportunity all over Kenya for the next 100 years. We are going to give the youth seeds, we are going to give them fertilizer, and we are going to train them on how to do the farm, so that at the end of the day they will be able to get a market which is already negotiated, which is bid for the next 100 years. So as young people, we are very focused. We know what we want for the youth, because I cannot ignore what is giving them problems. So tumejipanga, tuko sawa baba, look for information, we're willing to share with you information, but meanwhile you can go to www.vijana na oilseeds and you'll get a few answers that you want to know about agriculture.
Okay, Susan, balancing social and politics because of scandals, according to Chris Wekesa. Scandals.
Thank you, Jeff, for that question. I'd actually like to address something that my fellow Mishmia here has mentioned about tenders and the youth. I think the biggest problem we have right now is that the county governments around the country are not paying their suppliers on time, and therefore even if we have a providence for people to be able, for young people to access these tenders, then we must have a county government that is accountable to people, that will be able to pay this time, so that people's businesses don't go down the drain because they have supplied to county governments around the country. And therefore, as a senator, I'd like that to be part of the first things that I'll be able to table at the Senate, that we make sure that the county governments around the country are able to pay people on time, so that they give people business and who are employed through those businesses. About the social life and being a young person, I must say I'm from a very upright upbringing, in terms of my parents have raised me up in church, and I have people who I am accountable to, and therefore I cannot just stray, because there are people who are watching my every move, and therefore, be it politics, be it whatever aspect of life that I will be in at that particular time, there are people who are always going to be, I'm always going to be accountable to. And therefore, if you're looking at other people who have gone astray, probably it's just an issue of accountability. Maybe there's no one who they are looking up to, or people who will keep them, who will look at what they're doing and try and encourage them, or encourage them to change their ways. And so I have people who I am accountable to, and therefore I cannot just go, because there are people who are watching my every move.
All right, guys, we've got about 1 minute to go. Isaiah, real quick, you've got 30 seconds. Final thoughts.
I believe it's time for the youth to come over, take place in government, in politics, and I also want to encourage the youth and tell them that honestly, this government has given the youth opportunity. And for my people in Mgwen, the dream I have for Mgwen is as big as an elephant. I want to bring change. I'm thinking of creating digital villages. I'm thinking of giving opportunities to the youth, where we're going to create, you know, there are nurses who've gone to school, they are not able to practice. We are going to give them voluntary courses in the constituency, so that at the end of the day, if an opportunity shows up as a nurse, as a teacher, or anything, they are considered. You have to nurture your talent. You have to practice what you've gone to school, so that you can be good at it. So at the bottom line is, I want to encourage all the youth to get involved, get in touch, be with us. Let's work together in this journey. Thank you very much.
Babu Owino.
Thank you, Jeff. I would like to urge the members of Embakasi's residents to humbly, as their incoming MP, because I have a track record, I believe that I can deliver them. Babu Owino is God chosen, and I believe that Babu Owino, I will member of Embakasi to Egypt, to Canaan, the land full of bananas, and I believe in self. I believe that when we unite together, we do a peaceful campaign in Embakasi East without any form of violence. And generally, I would love to also differ with Isaiah, Jeff, in a second, by saying that the government caters for the interest of the youth. I think Isaiah is not living in Kenya, because he would have known about what happened to NYS and men for youth. It was squandered by some individuals. So the government of Jubilee, it is part of the past, and we are coming new government which will be part of the future, and that is the NASA government headed by Raila Amolo Odinga. So thanks to Kenyans, and God bless you all.
Babu Owino, you never disappoint, do you? Thank you so much, Babu. Thank you, Isaiah. Thank you, Susan. And thank you to Chris and Livingston for your inputs. The youth and politics. That's what it's all about. Good luck, all of you, going forward. So for now, we're going to go live back to Eldoret at the passing out parade of the KDF at the KDF Recruitment School. Look and listen to these live images.
Basi mkuu wa gwaride hii anakuja kuweza kumuomba kwa heshima rais wetu wa Jamhuri ya Kenya na amiri jeshi mkuu wa majeshi yote ya ulinzi ya Kenya aweze kuikagua gwaride hii. Asanteni, kwa heshima tunaweza kuketi tafadhali. Anasindikiza hivi sasa na mkuu wa majeshi ya ulinzi ya Kenya Generali Samson Mwatete pamoja na mkuu wa chuo hiki Kanali Pascal Kitiro.